Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to the HireMyVA Team in Business Building podcast, where we help you to reclaim your freedom through hiring and thriving with virtual assistants without breaking the bank, which the most important bank is your bank, and that's what we help you not to break. And I'm Dave Broughton. I'm here with my partner, great friend, crazy buddy of mine, Larry Broughton. Larry, what's up, man?
Greetings and salutations to you. The way you started this one was very funny for some reason. It made me chuckle. Good morning, good
I think
afternoon, good evening.
Did it sound like Jim Carrey or something like that?
I don't know. Jeez.
Well,
We got a question today. What is it, darn it?
we do. Here is the question and topic for today. It
What is
is, I'll train them, and as soon as they get really good, they'll just go work for someone else.
Yeah, we hear this a lot. We hear it a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah. You know what, though, Dave? I'm going to start with the same answer I usually give. That could happen to anybody who works in your real life office, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Crying out loud. So, yeah. So let's start with that. What do you think about this one, Dave? I think this one came up on the webinar as well, didn't it? One of the opening
Yeah, I mean,
webinars.
yeah, of course. Yeah, it can happen exactly like you said. But, one of the things is if you are hiring right, and if you are having them when they're getting really good, even exceeding your capability, you'll be having them update your systems and processes. And so hopefully when you do things right, as we talk about in our course, they will have recordings and everything left behind to help you train the next person that comes along.
Should they actually leave? Yeah,
Should they actually leave? Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the most important elements of the program is how to get someone on board, and then they want to stay there.
Right.
If we create a really attractive work environment where they're working in their strength and they're feeling challenged and they're being rewarded and you're being positive and upbeat with them, they're not going to want to go someplace else. Mm-hmm. But honestly, if you treat them like a hired hand, you treat them like a virtual assistant, a traditional virtual assistant where they're really not part of the team, you're disrespectful, you're dismissive.
Right.
Guess what? Yeah, they're going to go somewhere else, and they deserve it. They deserve to have a great place to work,
Sure.
And you deserve to have them leave. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but I'm not sorry, because sometimes we need that wake-up call, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things that we have found, and we've had virtual assistants from a couple of different countries, and we've had virtual assistants from right here in the U.S., is that what we have found with the Philippine culture is that they're very loyal, right? They want to do a great job. They don't want to be jumping from employer to employer. And so I think that if you get somebody who's working their strengths, you're treating them with respect, you create an organization where people actually thrive. One of the things I really like about what you've done, Dave, with some of the VAs is that you've helped them expand their skill set. And so they become better professionals. The Gallup organization shows that, one of the reasons why people leave an organization, and this hurts for me to even say it, because I've had people leave my organization, is they're not quitting their job, they're quitting their employer, or they're quitting their boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's like a knife turning in my gut sometimes, right? I've got to evaluate, because I've had people who have left from the organization. But really the number one reason that people leave, according to the Gallup so they do a state of the American workforce survey and a state of the world survey, is that people that feel like they're not being professionally developed. In other words, they're not growing. They feel like they're stagnating, and in some cases they're moving backwards. And so if you follow the Thrive module, where we encourage you to help build their skill set, they're more likely to stick around.
Yeah, and you're right, helping build their skill set, and chances are when you're doing that, they will tell you what they're interested in, and a lot of times it will align with their strengths, right, and how they're wired. And if we help our team work within their strengths, they're going to be a lot more satisfied, a lot happier. And, it's going to be rare that they would look for something new. Now, I remember I did have one person leave once, but that was because, it was like an offer he couldn't refuse. It was like 3 times the salary of what I was paying. But the key thing about the Philippines that I learned from him was that it's customary for them to give a month's notice. And that's what he did. So we still worked together and did some training of myself and others. And so it was a great, great transition. And because this person had so much integrity, which is what we teach you to hire for. Because this person had so much integrity, he's like, yeah, I'll stick around and do some things even afterwards if you need some help, et cetera.
Right.
So the transition even went beyond when he was officially gone, and it just worked out so smoothly and so beautifully.
Yeah. One of the things I don't think we should overlook, Dave, and that is compensation. You kind of cued in on it there a little bit. If you're the type of employer, business owner, entrepreneur who's looking to rip people off, to get the most out of people, pay them the least that you can, this program is not right for you. Skip over the Thrive section because it's not even going to matter to you. So, so go put a comment in the community section and see how other people feel about that type of work environment. But if you really do want someone to stick around and you want to pay somebody fairly, and again, paying someone fairly in the US is different than paying somebody fairly in the Philippines, right? Giving someone a 15 or 20% raise or paying somebody 10% above market conditions in the Philippines is a lot different than paying somebody 10% above market conditions in the US. You're very likely, if you can afford, let's pick a number. If you can afford $5 an hour, you can probably afford $5.50 an hour or $6 an hour. And that's a big difference in places like the Philippines or some of the other places that have great VAs.
Yeah.
So I just want to throw that out there. So what's the point of that? Well, pay fair wages, even pay a little bit more. One of the things I think that we've found is successful, Dave, is doing bonuses for extra work, right? Or superior work.
Yes.
Right. And holidays and those types of things, because most VAs don't get that kind of thing. They get their hourly rate, and that's it. But again, if you treat them like a team member, they're more likely to treat you like a team member and have your back.
Yeah, we've even talked about profit sharing as well.
Right.
And when the right time is to do that for your team.
Yeah.
If you even want to do that and consider that. And that is a great way for them to feel like, hey, they've got some ownership in the company.
Yeah. And even if you don't do it as the entire company, you can do it on a per project basis, right? Because that incentivizes them to get more done quickly, a high quality rate than not. Yeah. And you can kind of test the waters a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the other thing is if something like this does come up, and you want to, we're always talking in our community and in our Q&A sessions about how to help people keep their VAs, how to help them thrive, right? Because that is so important. That's one of the modules that most places, give you a VA and then that's it. And then they leave you high and dry, or they say, hey, here's a blog post, read about it. But it's a continual process of how are you going to help your VAs thrive? And I'll be honest with you, Larry, sometimes even I forget how to help them thrive. I forget what their strengths are, their Colby scores. I forget about the fact that, we did profit sharing at one time and we're not doing it at the moment. Right. But, I really need to consider doing that again. And when is the right time?
Sure. Yeah. Well, listen, that is one of the great things about the community, because we get reminded of some of these things, right? And I think that community, and particularly the Thrive module, and even the Prepare module, there are a lot of courses out there, Dave, that tell you how to hire somebody. I was going through, and me, I don't get on social media that much anymore, but I was going through Facebook earlier, and this one guy keeps coming up, and he's got this book on how to hire a VA. And so I looked at the program, and that's how to hire them. But he doesn't tell you how to prepare to hire the right person, nor does he tell you how to thrive to keep that person. And he doesn't have a community, right? And so I think that's one of the powerful things about this program is the community. Yes, we've got the Q&A, the bonus Q&A programs that we do. We'll go on live. And I'm sorry that I missed the one last week, but I was, as you know, evacuated from my home because of the wildfires here in Orange County. But those communities and the bonus Q&A sessions can be really, really powerful. So if you've got more questions about this, like, hey, I'm concerned that if I train the people, they're going to go somewhere else, or whatever it is, go to the community and ask, and ask the question.
Yeah. And, our community is there for you, not just for a question about your VAs, but you may have a question about software. You may have a question about anything in your business.
Yeah,
And
that's
we've
right.
got a lot of people that got a lot of experience in various different areas that can
Well,
give you some help.
I've liked seeing, Daphne and Brian get on there, get on the community and,
Yeah.
or
We need to have them on our next
interacting.
Q&A, don't we?
I think that'd be a great idea. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Sounds
let's
good.
do that. Good.
Anything else?
Not for me.
All right. Well, I think we covered the topic pretty well about training them. And once they get really good, they'll go work for someone else. While we said it could happen, there's a lot of things you can do, as we talked about, to mitigate that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, well, thank you folks for joining us today. Remember, building a team is the way to reclaim your freedom. We're here to help you. 3 things we'd love for you to do right now, and we'd really appreciate it if you do them. So, number 1, if you haven't already, subscribe to this podcast. Number 2, give us a rating, 5-star. That's all we'll take. No, not really. We'll take whatever. Rate us how you want. Five. Yeah. $5 foot. No, that's another company.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah. And then, of course, number 3, go to HireMyVA.com for more information on our course. And what we talked about is our powerful community, right?
Yeah,
We're in there helping
right.
people, answering questions. So remember, folks, even without experience, you'll learn how to prepare for, hire, and thrive with virtual assistants. Larry and I are continuing to help folks. We want to help you too. So again, just go to HireMyVA.com for more information.
Yep. Hey, do yourself a favor, folks. Do the world a favor. Go do something significant today. All right, go get them. We'll see you later.